darkness. Behold the spellbinding abilities of Rivenwood Academy.
Hi, I'm Kara858, and today we're here for Rivenwood Academy Season 2, Episode 24. We only have one announcement that we have for today, of course, is that one of our dice for one of our campaigns, Gods of Color, has been released at Die Hard Dice. You should be able to see the dice below in the description section, and if you use the promo code COOKOUT, that is COOKOUT, you can get a discount off your purchase. You too can be able to roll like a demigod. And that's all the announcements that we have. So we're just going to jump right into this campaign. So with that, Aaron, take it away.
Hey! So we ended last time with kind of a bottle episode inside of Ardris's family's safe house as we did some really interesting character deep dives and figured out what was going on for a couple of different things. Yvain got an upsetting 12th letter instead of the 1 through 11 that she had been expecting. And Ardris had a couple of interesting conversations, one of which we're going to jump into directly. So at the very end of the last session, your mother said, hey, we need to talk, and asked you to join her. She takes you not to the room that she stayed in last night where she was sick, but up to the one that is actually appointed for her. So you go up the stairs. Again, the layout of this place is really weird, so the second they head up the stairs, the rest of you guys don't know where they are. You weren't able to follow them visually. But we're going to jump into that conversation first. So Ardris, your mother walks in the room, waits for you to get in, softly closes behind her, sits down. She's got like a little writing desk, and she kind of sits down at the chair there and gestures towards a small sofa that's also in the room.
Takes a seat. Is something the matter?
Yes, I think that is an accurate assessment. I am concerned that you have named yourself an heir to your aunt's sacrifices, and you intend to travel to a place of danger in order to continue those pursuits.
It appears so. I was not aware of it at first. Unfortunately, I do not have many options. One does not avoid life when it comes. You must face it.
We have the Alaran family has given much for the continued safety and security of not only Therantomia, but the world at large. It was the heir to our house that left and never returned. And I would not see that repeat for the heir to our home. We are fortunate to be in such a position of esteem, privilege, that we have people at our disposal who can travel the world, discover and ascertain the situation at hand, I do not doubt your skills, as they are, but I think that you perhaps overestimate your readiness.
I don't believe anyone is ever truly ready for life when it comes for them. However, it is not our way to leave others to accomplish things that need to be accomplished. And based on what I know, it appears that We've already attempted this once before and it was not enough. And, well, the book was given to me for a reason, I suppose. So it appears that it is our duty to make the decisions that others are unable.
Be that as it may, you are only just in your first century of adulthood. You were sent to Rivenwood Academy to grow your skills. I do not believe, given the circumstances I have just been informed of the school's rather rapid dissolution, that that has been accomplished. Do you?
I have grown more capable, but I don't believe I am on my aunt's match yet. That is true.
I'm not trying to stifle your sense of what is right. I think it is perhaps your... She kind of stops and she sits and she's not looking directly at you. She's kind of looking around the room. And it is the closest to, like, emotional that you've seen in your mother in quite some time. No one outside of you would probably be able to pick it up, but you know your mom pretty well. So you see that she is, throughout this, struggling to put her words together. Your conscience and your sense of duty are two of your greatest strengths. And I'm incredibly proud of how you conduct yourself, not just because of our family's name and the position we hold in society, but because you're my son. You're capable of great things, I know it. But I would ask that you not recklessly throw yourself into sacrifice. There are many people here who have waited very patiently for your return. At the very least, you should tell her that you're going.
I'm aware. Your concerns, your fears, understood. It still is difficult to deal with, but these other children are far younger than I am and have been, a world of weight has been given to them, and it does not seem right to leave things as they are. It is difficult, and I have no interest in sacrificing myself. There's already been enough life lost for this. But I cannot leave it to another to make sacrifices because I was too afraid or unwilling to do so.
I would not counsel you to have others sacrifice in your stead. However, if it is not an immediate concern, then it would be prudent to take with you all of the knowledge and skills possible into such an endeavor. And to be very honest, none of this should be on the weight of children's shoulders. Your party is quite capable, from what I understand, but their participation only increases my concern.
I understand. I have no interest in going unprepared, so I am not against doing what must be done in order to increase my chances and their chances respectively, but I don't believe you will have a choice ultimately. I suppose fate has a way of taking such decisions from you when it deems it so.
I understand. I hope that you can at least accompany me back home.
Of course.
And we can discuss your further plans as you see fit.
Of course, I would not dare allow you to return on your own. I believe now would be a time for everyone to rest a bit. No need to make hasty choices.
I am happy to hear that we are in agreement. Then she spends a little bit kind of staring at your face, kind of like she's memorizing it a little bit. Well, I think that I'm being negligent in my duties as a host, so I believe I will go and check in on our guests.
Yes, I will join you.
Before they come down the stairs, they spend, 15, 20 minutes talking, not a very long amount of time. I do want to jump back to the party as a whole and say, so you're all kind of sitting down at the table, the dining room table. Loom is there with you, as is old Kellen, Jorhan. Jorhan is looking way out of it right now. He's just kind of barely checking the conversation. But Loom is currently in conversation specifically with, actually with all of you, so break me up a piece about what might you be talking about right now with Loom.
Otis personally wouldn't have much to say to Loom. If anything, he'd probably be communicating with Nazareth telepathically, especially in light of what has happened to him recently.
Beautiful. Tell me, what do you tell Nazareth?
Hey, I had this dream last night. Was you there? I mean, that's how he would start, because it's like, back and forth.
Yeah, I had to remind myself what we actually did last session, so I had to think about it.
He became Owl Boy, had the big dream. Yeah. Well, he would be interpreting it as like, this is a dream that he dreamed Nazareth. So he's like confirming, were you actually there? In his own way.
You get back in your head. Yes, I was there. I am there every time I dream.
You didn't tell me that. But how come you was teleporting that one time when you had the night horses?
Except for the times that I have the night horses.
And Otis would kind of smirk, like visibly smirk to everybody else. Nobody else would know why.
Which makes no sense, to anybody,
And else would be like, well, I can fly now. I mean, I could before, but I definitely can now.
We can fly now.
And Otis would just suddenly grin from ear to ear. And if anybody is looking at Otis, like, this is probably the happiest you've ever seen him. And he would telepathically say to Nazareth, like, I always wanted to fly. I always wanted to fly ever since I met you.
Yes, I know. We can fly now.
So yeah, Otis just said they're grinning like an idiot. So that would be Otis unless he's directly addressed.
Micah, or C, I suppose right now, is doing what?
C is just essentially listening to the conversations that are going on, just because they're attempting to absorb as much information as possible now that they're essentially in the pilot seat versus in the background. And so they're just listening, trying to understand how people work and so forth.
Excellent. Then it sounds like Loom is having a conversation with Yvain, Miri, and Kellen. So I guess if you guys don't have a topic of conversation, Loom can kick this off.
I think Miri would have brought up something. Because if I remember correctly, right before Ardris walked off with his mom, he had mentioned that we're all here to sacrifice ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Or the gist of that. So, Miri is going to look at Liam and say, so are we supposed to actually be, like, dying with this?
Well, I would say no. I would emphatically say no, in fact. I would say that no children, and especially no students of Rivenwood Academy, should be sacrificing themselves for any reason. That's my opinion.
Okay, I'm glad that we share that opinion. And she looks like the other two.
As do I. I was getting very concerned with that that twist in the discussion, as it were. Mr. Blitz, what is your stance on self-sacrifice?
Is that rhetorical or an actual question?
This is an actual question because I feel the need to ensure that no one is planning to run off and sacrifice themselves in the near future.
You're exceptionally difficult to lie to. How would you define the term near?
I see. You watch as, well, make a perception check, actually. I don't know if you see it or not. Yvain, Micah, and Mary, you can get on this perception check because you're all involved.
Okay.
C, roll it with advantage.
Oh, okay.
17.
Because all you're doing is paying attention.
She is lost in
Does
thoughts. That was
Mary-
only an 8.
Would my 20 be able to call for it or no?
What's your report?
Oh, hold up.
What's your
I got a phone call for some
Oh.
reason on my phone. On my laptop.
Oh, I was gonna say, like,
weird.
phone calls. Every
No, I
moment
have
is
a 20
nightmare.
passive.
Yeah, I'll let you use passive.
So it makes sense. You know,
Wait, sorry, you have a 20 passive?
who has a 20 passive?
How you got a 20 passive?
Me.
Wow.
I believe I took observant.
We got 2 observant. Gosh, guys, I'm gonna have to rewrite some stuff up.
The observant posse is here.
I thought my
See?
passive of great was a 17. I was like, okay,
Right?
but yeah. Speaking of that, I rolled a 10, even with advantage. It makes sense. C is brand new, so you know they
Yeah, fair enough.
17.
Kellen, is your passive higher than what you rolled?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
My passive perception is 11. I'm more often in my own thoughts than I am watching the world around me. But I did okay right now, 17.
You did. All right, so I'll say not Yvain. Yvain is mulling a bunch of stuff over, but everyone else, you see that, like, as he says, "Oh, I see." His eyes very quickly dart to Jorhana and then back. Well, time being what it is, let's go with, I don't know, the next week.
No. I have no plans to sacrifice myself within the next week.
Month.
It's unlikely, but possible.
The next year.
Perhaps more likely?
Kevin! You're not supposed to be doing it at all!
I emphatically agree. Like, Mira and I are completely on the same page here. Self-sacrifice, not a great plan. For one, you can accomplish nothing after that period, so you kind of like cut all future possibilities short.
Going to be required of someone. So why not me?
Is perhaps a matter of debate. I would say, though, why you?
Well, if it's going to be someone, why not someone who's lived 2 lives?
I don't think that's
I mean, you're no. No.
In the other referenced time frame, everyone else sacrificed themselves to bring forth the Jorhan. So in this time frame, if it's only required of one person, why not me? Everyone else has already done their part.
But why do we have to sacrifice ourselves? Follow what they did. What they did apparently didn't work, so why would we keep doing it?
So that's a lot. There's a lot of assumptions, right? Like the idea that, I mean, you may have more information than I do about what happened in this alternate timeline, but the idea that everyone has sacrificed themselves at some point in their future would require that you personally sacrifice yourself perhaps as early as next month is a bit of a jump, let's say.
I think we're going to need to build another seal whenever we've gone through all of the current seals, and I believe that spell will require the sacrifice of someone. It seems to all of the times it's been cast previously, so I see no reason why that will change.
Interesting.
You may attack my premises, but I've tested it. The logic is sound.
And then, even if you're wrong,
Well,
that these
I think my
people-
internet is cutting out.
you don't have to sacrifice yourself.
In short, Mr. Blitz, what I'm saying is any other people's sacrifice does not necessarily indicate your individual need for sacrifice.
Right, and I agree with you, but nothing is certain in this life, including our own lives. And so I think, were it to be required of someone, that I'm the best candidate.
I think that merits further debate, especially considering
I
your...
wholeheartedly disagree. She like actually just like almost stops and
With the debate, or...
that Khaled is the one to sacrifice himself. I think it should be no one still.
I think that where no one is a possibility, no one is the best of choices. Absolutely.
And I would agree with you there.
We'll have to mull over this idea of creating what information do you have about the methods of creation for these seals?
I'm just having trouble determining if I should trust you when you can't even admit that Yvain's mentor is one of your spies.
You didn't have to say it like that, Caleb.
Okay. Mr. Blitz, there are certain things that, whether they are understood or not, are not spoken aloud. You were in my class, and I feel like I did a fairly good job of explaining that bit.
Did, but you also taught me how to emotionally manipulate people, which I've now won.
You have, in fact, garnered my attention, I assure you. Watch your words.
Were a sacrifice to be required, who would you select?
I would not. Absolutely. Although it does merit that I would particularly not choose children. That's just kind of a red line for me. So, generally speaking, where sacrifice is needed, I would not put it on the shoulders of children.
That does make sense.
I feel like you definitely did not answer my question, though.
Okay, so for the month, I'm safe then.
No, that's not the question, and you know that...
The years where it becomes questionable.
Oh. Cullen.
Yes?
What do you know about the methods of creation for these seals?
They seem to have required the sacrifice of a powerful individual to cement their strength despite it waning over time. We know that the magic seems to have been originally created by some people that live on an island off continent that are very against magic. It seems to have an origin with them. And I know that whereas one of the individuals seems to be related to Argis's history, there is some evidence that one of the individuals is also related to my history.
But you don't have any information about, like, the literal mechanics of creating it. Like,
only
materials,
that,
components.
Only that could they be coerced so that that information likely lies with the culture that lives off continent, as discussed, and that they would likely be difficult to persuade to part with such knowledge again.
I see. Well, that opens up some avenues of inquiry for myself and those who assist me. I do think, though, that I would be delighted to let Lady Alara and also young Micah, who is here, know about. I hope that I spoke too many words. Good news. We should probably go back to the capital city. He kind of stares at Micah/Lee for a bit. I apologize. I don't know if this is rude to ask. Are you C or are you Micah at present?
I am C.
I would like to speak with Micah if possible.
And they kind of look down for a second. And you just start to see the eyes of humanity start to shift back into their eyes. And a bit of a little bit more youthfulness appear as their eyebrow raises. It's just, oh, hi.
Hello, Micah. I wasn't sure how much you heard of everything else we were discussing.
I can hear.
Wonderful. I am happy to hear that. I would like to inform you personally that Chancellor Izzani has returned to the capital city and is eagerly awaiting all of you in order to discuss some things, I suppose.
She's there now?
Yes, I just got she did a message, like, in my brain. Fortunate that we were together, so I could let you know immediately.
Thank you for telling me.
Can you make an insight check really quick?
Sure. Me or?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, these dice not off to a good start. For those who don't know, I got a brand new dice for Micah. Beautiful purple and gold.
Oh, it is nice.
Yes. Sadly, that was a big fat 2. So that is 5 for me.
Loom is looking at you expectantly.
Can you tell her that I am happy that she's safe?
Although I do not immediately have the means at my disposal to relay that message, I am certain that I can escort you there so you can tell her yourself.
Uh-oh.
Oh?
Okay.
Does Otis pick up on any of that? Because even though like Nazareth is Otis's focus, he would be staring at C. So, well, Micah right now.
Your passive insight's ridiculously high, right?
It's 24.
Oh.
Yeah. Micah, can you just inform Otis, like, in 2 words, what's Micah's emotional state?
Oh, that would be more like a passive insight.
Yeah.
Which would be 19.
19. 2 words. What's Micah's emotional state right now?
Major concern.
Ooh. Interesting.
And Aaron, also, can Otis note like the facial changes between Micah and C?
For sure. It is something that is pretty apparent.
Like, even if there's something subtle that goes on, can he like pick up on that?
I think so. I would say probably Kira.
Okay.
If there's any interesting like Micah C balance as to who's forward with Otis's passive perception.
Yeah, that would be
you can
more
just
perception.
send him a DM
Okay.
for like if there's something like that.
Yeah, that's
I
not.
appreciate it, big dog.
No worries. Yeah, I could definitely send that to you. Yeah.
Otis is always watching.
Except when he's not. As interesting as this conversation is, I think that we now have a pretty clear goal of where we should go next, yes? I mean, the Chancellor beckons, and I'm certain that all of you would have things to do in the capital city anyway, yes?
Certainly.
I guess so. I'm just more making sure that everybody else doesn't do things that they're not supposed to. She just looks at Kellen specifically right now.
Otis is hard smirking.
There is a reason why you are one of my favorite students. Now you, and he turns and looks at Yvain.
Yes, Professor.
I have a question.
Oh, all right. What is your question, sir?
What are you doing for the next, I don't know, 3 months?
Oh, well, I really don't have anything on my. Nothing really. I assume. Yeah, I'm just kind of going with the flow of things right now.
Well, I will note that your performance was highly lauded by certain people who have witnessed your capabilities.
Yep.
And as a member of Rivenwood Academy, if you are interested in furthering those skills, I think it would be quite easy to have a place for you.
But could I think on it just for a little bit?
Of course. I only wanted to let you know that it would be a possibility so that you could consider it.
Thank you. Just kind of like back to looking off and like the distance.
It's about this time that Ardris and his mother reappear coming down the stairs.
Well, you all certainly look livelier than before.
Incredibly talkative group. It's been just continuous laughs the entire time. No, actually, we did get a bit of good news. Chancellor Rosati is back in the capital city and has requested to meet with all of you, and also Lady Lauren. She wanted to personally greet you and was hoping to meet with you upon your return. And Lady Lauren kind of gives a little nod. It's like, of course, we will be happy to have her at our home. Excellent. I will definitely make sure that everyone is aware. He has no ability to send messages, but... In this case...
I just will... Go ahead.
I was just going to roleplay more talking with myself because everyone was being quiet. Go ahead.
Ardris will cast the sendings to the peoples to let them know that we are returning.
Nice. Who are you sending to?
Well, Ardris would know the people you're supposed to let know that you're using the portals and stuff. So that person.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
I guess you would send a message to the Chancellor as well.
Okay.
And he'll send one to Lady Vinfine as well.
Oh, nice. Okay, we won't roleplay the first one. That's just a very much, yes, Aeroline, you're coming. We got you. You're cool. For the Chancellor Rosati, what do you say?
It is good to hear that you are doing well. You will be returning very soon. We will have much to discuss.
When you get back, I am incredibly grateful and thankful for all that you have done so far. I also have many things to discuss upon your return.
Right, that would be it.
Do you get a message, Lady Vimbina?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you going to do that out loud?
I'm doing it, all right?
Okay.
It takes time. It takes time. It's a delicate dance.
A delicate dance.
We will be returning soon. I would hope to speak with you and see how you're doing.
I am incredibly happy to hear that you are returning. I will have the picnic basket ready. So.
Right, well, it's for you all. Are you ready to leave now?
Micah's eyes starts to shift back to C's position as control is let go, and as C looks up towards Ardris, it says, "Yes, we are ready."
You see Loom kind of like backed the side of Jorhan, like in the arm, and Jorhan's like, "What? Yes. Whatever it is we're talking about. Yes, I agree with me." Or Loom's like, "No, we're going. Come on." He looks exhausted and very out of it, so he's just kind of like doing whatever the group says to do.
Johan, you should not agree with Kellen right now.
Oh, well...
Don't agree with yourself right now.
Right, well, the thing is, it can be really difficult to kind of be of two minds about something.
No. You two are two separate people right now. Okay? You're Johan, he's Kellen.
Okay.
You do not agree with him right now.
But to be fair, like, I used the name Johan because it was easier at the time. Like, my real name is actually Kellen. And it gets a little bit confusing.
I know it is, but... Yeah, but you look old and wrinkly, so you are Johan.
Fair enough.
Not the crow's feet. Not the crow's feet.
He looks mildly upset at that, and then he's like, "Yeah, no, that's fair. I am older than you."
Are you all done now?
I'm so sorry. My internet just took a fat pause.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, we saw a pause for a second, but you're back now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting a head count of how many people we've got. So we got 6 party members plus Loom, Joran, and Lady Alan. That takes us to 9 for teleport. Are we teleporting?
Quick question
And
here.
just cast teleportation circle.
While teleportation circle is being cast, correct me if I'm wrong. Is there a tree growing through the establishment, or is that just a tree on the estate?
This house does not have the tree like the house in Bobova Core has.
Okay, so it's not like a stylistic thing across all the Lauren houses. Okay.
Not safe houses, at least. You haven't been to any of their other houses. So.
Okay.
A tree is another way to get in. You gotta
Yeah.
We gotta go to their summer house.
Right.
Is there anything
I would
you need?
assume we would have the requirements for chalk for teleportation circle in the safe house. I feel like that would.
I believe you bought more than enough when you were in Core doing your shopping expedition.
Right.
So
Then we will leave the bounds of private
Sanctuary.
sanctum and then cast it and then
Yeah.
leave. Yeah.
Okay. You head out. It is a beautiful day. You head out. You cast teleportation circle. Oh, yep.
Just to clarify, how many people can fit through? You said there's 9 of us?
There's currently 9. I think 9 is the limit, isn't it?
Oh, I thought it was
Or is
8.
it?
I thought it was 8.
Teleportation circle doesn't have a limit.
Teleport has a limit.
Oh, teleportation circle doesn't. It's how quickly. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
You
Okay.
just have to go through in a minute after casting.
We all gotta push each other.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so you get out, you take your time, you do that. Anything else to do before we all jump in the circle? No, excellent. You blink, and in that split second, you are now standing in the Hall of Mages. You are back at the teleportation circle you first arrived at when you came through the first time. But this time, they knew you were coming, and there's not a lot of swords pointed at you. Instead, people are already kind of respectfully bowing.
There's no need for such formalities. Please stand.
Kind of straightens up.
Well, everyone, I believe we have people to meet with. Does anyone here know where the chancellor has been taken to?
I forgot that you were talking to me for a second. One of the people kind of at the door is like, yeah, the school kids are all in one place, and the chancellor I think was heading that way. The vice chancellor was also heading that way, so I assume they're in the same spot.
All right, then we will go in that direction.
All right. You head through the twisty turns. It's a little bit easier because you know exactly where you're going. You go, and you notice a couple of things. First, there are more adult figures here. You do see Chancellor Rizzani, who is just wrapping up a conversation with the Vice Chancellor, Wilhelm, and also Theophania, the Archivist, who is there. Bim is also present. Drogan and Elliot are also present. There are fewer students, though. It looks
Otis
like
immediately makes a beeline toward Drogan and Elliot.
right. You book it straight towards them. They're not involved in whatever this meeting is that's going on with the Chancellor, so you gotta skip all of that. The second they see you, like they rush up and they like meet you halfway, basically.
Oh, he's hugging him. He's hugging him big
So,
time.
You are surrounded by hugs, as it were. And Drogon's like, all right, you did good. You said you'd be back, and here you are. I'm happy to see you.
Well, yeah, I'm an owl too.
What's that now?
Otis goes in his hybrid form without warning.
I like to say Miri is now trying to come up because she sees the owl.
All right. It's gonna take a little getting used to, but I mean, you're happy with it?
I love it. It's what I always wanted.
Then I'm happy with it. I'm happy for you.
And Otis is actually going to see if he can take flight. There's a high ceiling.
There is a super high ceiling in here, actually.
Oh, Otis is going to start flying. He's going to start flapping his wings and flying. Absolutely.
C. Yes. Nazareth has been on your shoulder for this whole time, but when Otis takes flight, Nazareth takes flight and joins him as he goes a little circle around them.
And if y'all are looking at Otis, Otis is beyond ecstatic. Like, time of his life. You've never seen him this happy.
Nazareth's doing like little loop-de-loops and twirls and corkscrews and stuff to also show. And you hear a very faint Luminari, and then it's a little bit brighter up there.
It was just like, yeah, like he is gone. Like he's at the amusement park.
Miri, you're pretty close to where Jorgen and Elliot are, and both of them are just looking up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of new to me too.
How about that? You know, I don't reckon I've ever seen anything.
How it happened. I still don't know how it happened, but
I mean,
he's really happy.
It's new, right? Like
she watches it.
It is new though, right? Like I just haven't been ignorant this whole time.
Yes, he woke up this morning, I think, and he just said that he was an owl.
This morning?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Does he even know? He's doing like that anxious parent watching a kindergartner play soccer kind of thing, where he's just like trying not to call out, but he's like, does he even know how to fly? Like, has he done this before?
You would canonically know Otis has never done this before.
I mean, he looks happy.
Drogon's kind of doing the very stress thing. Elliot, on the other hand, is just like full smile. Like Elliot stands just a little bit taller than Drogon and is just a little bit beefier than Drogon, despite his kind of twee
demeanor,
demeanor, and also how he dresses. He dresses a little bit more prim and proper, but he looks up and he looks as giddy as you feel, sort of, and is just very, very delighted about it. As the rest of you enter, there's a moment where you're kind of taking a head count, you're looking who's around, and then you see the Chancellor looks over and notices Micah. And she immediately drops everything she's doing and heads directly for you.
So C looks towards the Chancellor and kind of turn their head to the side, and you see there's a stage of recognition, but C still remains in the front as she approaches. And as she comes up, he's like, I am C. I am watching over Micah.
Okay, let me think a little. Okay, so she's coming up and she's moving with purpose, and as she gets closer, she slows down just a little bit because something's not quite right with what she's seeing. Mm-hmm. And so she was going she was gonna come down for a hug, but as she gets a little bit hesitant, and then when you speak up, she fully stops where she is, not very far in front of you, and just kind of frowning down for a little bit. I don't understand. Try again.
Micah is safe, but I am here to make sure balance is retained.
Well, I don't like that one bit. I would like to speak to Micah.
I understand your request. However, there is fear that you will bring chaos to Micah.
You know, I don't think anyone has ever accused me of being an agent of chaos before. I will speak with my child. I would prefer for this to be an easy process.
And you see, like, kind of like turn to their heads to the side, and as they kind of like try to retain control. Well, you know what? Let me make a roll.
I was gonna say we've talked briefly.
Yeah.
Even if we haven't decided which way we're gonna go with it, but like.
All right. Okay. So you see trying to maintain control, but there's just like gradual shifts across the face, just slowly making their way up as the robotic nature of their jerky and movement starts to smooth out, and then eventually their eyes return back to the basis of their more human-like nature. Still with the clockworks in the eyes, we could now see the irises. And the Micah looks up, like, hi, mother. And
She goes down on one knee and just like wraps you up in a hug.
But Micah is like, it goes stiff for a second, and then they slowly grab back. Their hug is like tight, but also nervous and ashamed in a way. I'm glad you're okay.
I am glad that you are okay. You are okay, aren't you?
Yes, I learn a lot of things, and so I don't. Do you know what I am?
Well, I would say that you are not a what, but a who. You're Micah. You're my child. You are a gifted mage. I'm very proud of you. Although Wilhelm has told me that some very frightening things occurred.
Yes. I was trying to find out more about my birth family, and I was trying to stop the war, and I went there, and I made everything worse. The city collapsed. I got people killed, and I realized what was it? I'm not alive. The father killed me, and so I'm not meant to be here. So I understand now my role.
While you're talking, she looks very thoughtful. She's being a very attentive listener. And she waits until you're finished before she begins to talk. And she goes, well, I can see that is one interpretation of the events. On the other hand, I would say that you successfully ended a war. And although the Emperor was a terrible man, I do not think that reflects on you. And I do not agree that you are not alive.
But when I try to do things that people who are alive try to do, I make it worse. And I learn that I need to watch others because they're alike. They want works. But if I try want, like Otis taught me, it's bad, very, very bad. So I learned I'm not like others.
But I agree that you're not like others. But I think that is a statement to your own unique capabilities and sensibilities, not a statement of whether you are worthy of wants or how successful any plans that you may have will be. You remember when I almost destroyed Otis because he decided to sneak into our home?
Yeah.
I mean, I still don't know what he wanted, but it was a bad choice.
Otis did not like that time. I remember.
I have also made many choices out of what I want, and some of them have gone very poorly.
What? Really?
Indeed. For one, Lady Sylvana, who I'm being told is a complete traitor, had a great deal of my trust.
Oh. So it's not just me?
I think I can categorically state it is not just you.
And you see them like pause for a second, like pretty much like my hand movement.
Hmm.
Oh. Well, C says it's because once are chaos, and I am an agent of balance. So I have to allow others to enjoy once, but I'm not meant to because I belong to something else.
Do you think that it is balanced to excise an entire emotion? That doesn't feel like balance to me. To me, balance would be understanding wants and needs and putting them together in order to get a clearer picture of the totality of what should be done and all of the many ways that we might fail despite our best efforts. Chat.
That makes sense. Mother, I will be honest. And they'll point to like the figure over their shoulder. Many times I do not understand their logic. What you said makes sense, but what they say also makes sense. It's hard, Mother.
It's interesting because when you gesture towards your shoulder, she looks like she sees something.
Wait, do you see it?
Yes.
I'm glad.
I am not trying to pull you in a given direction. What I care for is your overall happiness and safety. That is all I've ever cared for. So, just remember, and she gestures towards the pendant that you're wearing, the Dragonfire pendant that she gave you during the festival, during the party, with the book that she specially went and got for you that has no other copies. Wherever you go, you take me with you. It's okay to need some time to think and to process. Over my many, many years, I have more times than once needed time. But you're not alone. I'm here. And I'm proud of you.
After all I did?
I am proud of you because of all you did, not in spite of it. Although I would prefer that you don't run into war zones on your own. That is a preference of mine. But I understand that I wasn't here to make sure that didn't happen. In the future, should you need to run into a dangerous place, you can come tell me.
C won't let me anymore. So no worries there.
Well, I I have something else to discuss with you, Micah. But it will be a little bit later.
I would like to spend as much time as I can. I miss you.
I've missed you so much.
They'll give her a huge hug.
Yeah, she still hasn't stood up. This whole time she's been on her knee, so she can be face to face with you.
Oh, before I'm pretty sure C's going to want control soon. But before I have to go, can you help me try to find your veins mentor?
Oh, yeah, of course. Who's your vein?
And they'll point towards the brand new student to the side. It's like, she read me poetry when she took over. She was there, and she's really sad because she really would like to see her mentor, like when you were gone, and I was really sad. It seems same.
Yvain, what you see is this is your first time meeting the Chancellor. She's a tall, deep olive tone skin, long black hair woman. She's got fairly strict features. It's kind of interesting because you're seeing her at maybe the softest anyone has seen her as an introduction. And because Micah has pointed out that you took care of them during this kind of traumatic period, some of that stays as she shifts her gaze from Micah to you.
I imagine she's been trying to politely let Micah have time with his mom and has been watching Otis soar about the ceiling because she's finding it very fascinating, and she's just kind of I don't know what to do with this situation. I'm trying not to eavesdrop, but also...
Well, Micah, we have a lot to discuss for the school and for everyone, and then also for you and I. So I think we're going to impose on Lady Lauren's goodwill to try to meet up there, based on what Wilhelm has told me. So stay close, okay?
And then as he tries to finish off the sentence, once again, the face starts to shift back and returns back to its more robotic nature. It says, and as C looks up, they will look towards Rosani. We will ensure we stay close to you.
Good. And a lot of all of that, love and affection and care is just gone.
Mm-hmm.
And she stands up from where she was kneeling, kind of surveys. Kellen, how far are you away from this group?
So that begs one follow-up question, and then I will tell you: is Pyrea in the area?
Pyrea, oh gosh, yes, absolutely. But Pyrea is sitting off kind of by herself. There's a group of students that are kind of milling about right now. They've just finished breakfast and they're kind of like chilling. She's a little bit away on her own, sitting down.
Go over to her, and assuming that she allows me to, put my arm around her shoulders and kiss her forehead.
Yeah, she kind of doesn't realize you're there at first. Like, she's pretty lost in thought. And then, like, she starts a little bit. She's like, oh, hey, Colin.
Hey.
Good to see you. I'm happy you're back.
Yeah. Where's Narcus and the others?
Oh, yeah. I guess their folks wouldn't let them stay. So.
None of them?
As you look around, you see that it looks like there's maybe 60% of the students left that you knew were here.
Ooh.
And you're kind of looking around. You don't see any of her party members at all. Marcus isn't there. Iana isn't there.
Lost her whole party?
Yep. Sure did.
Well...
So, that's super cool. It's been fun.
Well, Chancellor's a little bit busy right now, but I'll have a word with her after she's done talking to Micah.
I mean, I guess it kind of depends on what happens next, right? Like, it'd be really cool if there's a school. And then maybe I'll join another party or something.
Either way, I was willing to, because you had friends that were waiting for you. But I think you should go wherever I go next, or I should go wherever you go. I don't really want to say goodbye again.
Yeah. I've kind of had enough of goodbye lately, you know?
Me too.
But you're back in it, and like she kind of like discreetly kind of wipes at the edge of her eye a little bit. But you're back and everything. That's good. How did it go? I mean, looks over to where Mike is. Mike is back. Everyone's kind of does a little head count of your party. Is Otis flying?
I guess he's an owl now, but hang on.
Wait, where did you go?
There will be time for that in a minute.
Okay.
And he'll just kind of sit and put his arm around her and pull her close for a minute.
She kind of just leans.
And then he's just sitting there, being present and watching to see when Chancellor Rosani will be free, which I imagine could be a while, based on the fact that she's currently talking to Micah and recently just returned, and there's also a throng of other people waiting for her. So he's just going to kind of encourage Pyrea, like, there's time for that later. We're not going to say goodbye again. Let's be present in the moment for now.
Yeah, she just kind of like soaks up getting to sit with you for a little bit and doesn't say much. Ardris, you and your mother, where did y'all end up?
We are watching from a distance, respectfully.
Right. As you stand there for a while, Otis is doing aerial tricks up in the ceiling. You do see Wilhelm looks over to you, finishes discussing something with Theophania and Bim, and then leaves them and walks over to you. Gosh,
Greetings.
I have to roleplay so many conversations with myself. Yes. Hello. I'm happy to see you in one piece, and Lady Alaran.
It is good to see you are well. It appears that a number of people are missing. I assume they are well.
Apparently, a school blowing up in a war tends to shake the confidence of people where it concerns their children. So many have elected, especially since we haven't actually resumed classes, to pool their children. Although we do have...
Understandable response.
I mean, it is, which makes it so frustrating. I did, and he kind of nods, and you see, in a different corner from where Pyrie is, closer to where you are, there is a hunched over, very scared looking blue dragonborn. It's interesting because you remember in your mind Honinko being kind of, kind of broad-shouldered and like physically tough because she projected such an attitude, sort of. And this is all of that gone. Just kind of hunched over, curled up on her own. I did manage to rescue Miss Honinko, although I think she's got a ways to go.
Things have changed quite a bit. And I'm just going to go over to Honinko.
Ooh! So you walk away as Wilhelm kind of shifts his attention to your mom and they start having a conversation. You walk over to Honinko, who is incredibly aware of where you are. And you see, when you get within about 30 feet, that she starts to tense.
There's no need to be concerned about me. Are you all right?
She does not look at you, doesn't meet your gaze, gives a small nod after a couple seconds.
I imagine things have been rather difficult for you. And I will not begin to anticipate how that may have affected you, but I can let you know there are people who were worried about you. Otis was in particular very concerned, and I do regret that we were unable to ensure that you are taken from there safely.
It's okay. We deserved it.
It is not, and no one deserves what has happened in the last few weeks. No one deserves war or injustice. I cannot tell you that that won't happen, nor can I tell you that there will be some magical solution. But I can tell you that whatever you need, if it is within our power to grant you, it will be done.
Roll insight. Roll insight. No, wait. Roll persuasion first, and then roll insight.
Goodness, I'm not a soul.
I mean, unless you're deceiving her, and then roll deception and then insight.
First of all, those would make very little difference to us. About a 12.
For your persuasion? Okay. Roll insight.
Okay. Oh boy, that's worse for me. Oh, that's a natural 1.
Ooh.
For a 2. Why can't we ever just roll the things I'm good at, dog? Why is it always things I'm not good at?
Hey, Miri. Roll insight for me, please.
Gotcha. Let me grab a little dicey dice out of my little thing. That's a 28.
Woo! Woo! Okay. All right. Okay.
So high.
I rolled an 18 on
you're-
the die. I have a plus 10.
Ridiculous. So you're standing quite a ways away, and you normally this. It wouldn't really be on your radar, except is Argus walking over to? Is that Honinko? Like that catches your attention.
Okay.
And as you look, you see Honinko just progressively curling further and further into herself as Argus is speaking. You can tell on her face is a mix of resignation, shame, and complete disbelief.
Is she next to Elliot or Drogon right now?
You're closer to Jogan.
Quick question. From your vantage point, can you see Ardris's lips? Because you can, in fact, know what Ardris is saying. Because
I don't actually have observant.
You don't actually have observant.
Observant.
I'm about to say.
No, I just have
got it.
expertise in a lot of things.
Okay.
You don't have observant, you're just that good.
Yeah. So she'll kind of tap Drogon. Like, I'm gonna. That's Honinko.
Oh, yeah. She came in with the vice chancellor. I guess that would be last night.
Oh, okay. Well, we did kind of ask him to see if he could find her, and I guess she's here.
Yeah.
I'm
She
gonna.
doesn't look too good, to be honest.
I think Argus might be making a bad decision or saying something wrong right now. I'm gonna go.
I don't
with it.
know. I don't know if it's Ardris, Mary. Just the way she's been acting since she came back, something bad happened.
Okay. And she'll head over or start walking over.
You feel that Drogon's attention is now split between Otis and you, as he's kind of like also keeping you in his line of sight as you walk over.
Just gonna keep walking.
Scoop, scoop, scoop. Kellen, you see Mary walk. Yvain, you see Mary walk. Micah, you're still in, or sorry, you're Micah right now. Micah's still in a conversation with the Chancellor at this point. You arrive again. When you get within about 30 feet, you see that you wouldn't think she could get more tense, but she somehow does.
Gotcha. Instead of standing and looming over her, Ardris, Miri is going to kneel down to her level.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, it's good to see you, Honinko.
For a brief moment, she looks up and then looks away. Doesn't really say anything.
Oh, okay. I thought you said something. They said that you came in last night, yes? With the Vice Chancellor.
Just a silent nod.
I don't know what happened after we all lost each other, but we don't have to go through it anymore. And hopefully now things are going to get better. Because we all have each other. She just looks at Ardris.
Odin reiterated this, yes.
The mixture of resignation and shame and disbelief on her face does not change.
Just looks at Ardris. Kind of like one of the, what did you say to her?
It will take time for things to improve. But I believe with time, Honinko will be stronger for it. You are welcome to stay here. If you like, there will be no one who will bother you.
You know, Ardris, I think I don't think that there should be a lot of people, but I don't think that Honiko should be alone right now.
Boss? I don't believe sending armed individuals would be best for her. There are a few people, I believe, that would be beneficial for Honiko. And I imagine the library has like librarian people, like just regular like workers.
If you ever make it there, you for sure.
We will request that regular looking people will help spend time with Honiko, not soldiers.
But to see like. If you were going to refer Honiko to somebody for help, it wouldn't be to a librarian. And if you asked for a librarian to help Honiko, they would say, what book is she looking for? Like, what do you want us to do here?
Just companionship here. Just companionship. Look, the nobles say just be a companion. You don't.
Oh yeah, this is a suggestion from Argis. Okay.
House Lauren is known for their companionship and hospitality.
Yeah. I have a wisdom of one, Pam. I have a wisdom of one. He's just picking the kindest people that he can think of in mission memory, which are librarians.
I do love the idea that Argis is like, oh, there's a problem. You need people skills. That's a job for librarians. I do like that.
To be fair, like, this makes so much sense, honestly.
That's why I said it was like this Argis solution for an Argis problem.
It's a very Argis solution. Okay, you like get up to go send some runners to go find some librarian. We'll keep that kind of end process. As you do, the conversation between Wilhelm and your mother is wrapping up. The conversation between Micah and the Chancellor is wrapping up. The Chancellor and Wilhelm meet up and are chatting for a little bit. And then both of them go to kind of get the attention of the room. They're like, all right, everyone, quiet down, come in. And Wilhelm interrupts the Chancellor to say, Otis.
And Otis looks down. What?
And the Chancellor rewrites what she was going to say and says, Mr. Otis, would you please come down?
Yeah. And Otis will actually say yes. And Miri would definitely know, having spent so much time with Otis, that Otis's countenance is a little bit different right now. And Otis is going to pointedly land in front of the Chancellor. In front of Chancellor Rosani.
It's good to see you, Otis. Thank you for all of your help for Micah.
So is it over? Did I do my job?
Yes, you did your job well. Thank you.
Yeah, Otis, upon landing, was looking very tense. Otis now looks very relieved.
Yeah.
So you would literally see
Wilhelm is doing like a... Yeah. She'll gesture for all of the students and the staff that are there to kind of come and sit down. Loom is with you, so he's had a very nice little reunion with Bim and Theophania and Drogan and Elliot, and kind of being like, oh, hey, we're back. A couple of students have been like, yo, Loom. There is one person who is definitely not here, and that would be Shorhan.
Okay.
As you went this way, at some point, Shorhan just faded away somewhere. You're not sure where exactly you lost.
In true Kellen fashion.
In true future Kellen fashion. As everyone kind of settles down, she's like, all right. One, I am incredibly happy and pleased to see all of you. I know that we are missing some of our friends, and I do hope that as Rivenwood Academy reopens and we commence a new semester, that many of your friends will be able to return. But we do have the good news that thanks to the goodwill of House Aloran and Theron Tomiel as a whole, we are being loaned some property that used to be conservatory to hold courses for Rivenwood Academy and to continue our work. Although we are missing many of our teaching staff, thankfully we are fortunate to be here among the Hall of Mages, where there are many who are gifted in the ways of magic and the arcane or the divine, who can help us to rebuild those skills. There are many, many changes coming ahead. Most of them, I think, quite exciting, but it will look quite different from the home that we knew. It is important, as Belheim always reminds me, though, that it is not the building that is Rivenwood Academy, it is all of us here. So wherever we are together, there is Rivenwood. So please, be prepared to pack. We will take today to organize some supplies, and we're looking to start traveling tomorrow. It's a short journey outside of Vivacor, kind of on the outskirts. We will provide, of course, accommodation and food and all of the things that you are used to. Your classes will be rescheduled as needed. That's it. Good news, everyone. Please make your preparations. And
Otis raises
commence
staff,
tomorrow.
and as if he has a question.
I apologize, Mr. Otis.
What's the conservatory?
Conservatories are often places of knowledge and learning, often for the arts. In fact, musical conservatories are quite popular and common. So it is a campus with a building that is built for education, basically, with residences already constructed. It's not currently in use, which is why the Alaran household and Theratamiel have been so gracious as to allow us to use it in the meantime.
You think that's a good idea?
Yes, I do.
You know how you talked about political powers and all that stuff?
I believe at this moment, this will be the safest place for us on the continent. Should anything happen to change that, your safety will always be our top concern.
Otis will not, for they've earned Otis's respect.
Any other questions? No. Excellent. Well then, we'll begin again tomorrow, and I'm looking very much forward to restarting our studies and helping you to improve your skills and knowledge for everything that comes next. Thank you. And the students who are left, there's a lot of chatter. There's some people who are incredibly nervous, some people who are a little bit excited, some people who are kind of oblivious to the larger problems that are going on, that are kind of viewing this like a field trip. One or two who are like, I'm going to call my parents, and I'm not going to do this. I don't want to stay in Theratamiel. So kind of a mixed reaction from the students. Everyone's kind of chatting around. She gestures over towards Lady Alaran and kind of catches the eye of each of you and gives a nod.
Would Otis be able to pick up on what that nod infers?
I'm fairly certain that your wisdom would say. Okay. Yeah, she's gesturing for all of you to join, like, where Lady Alaran is.
Okay.
C will make their way over to Yvain, and as they look up, they will say, Chancellor Rosani will help you find your mentor.
That's good. I'm sure she's going to be a difficult woman to track down.
She is powerful. She should be able to find your mentor.
Well, I do hope so. Be nice if I got the rest of my mail, but I have no idea where it went.
She would be able to do a lot more than that.
You know, perhaps going to school wouldn't be too bad.
You will be joining us.
I don't really have anything else going on, and learning seems to be preferable to twiddling my thumbs. Waiting on potentially 11 more letters.
Is anyone not going over there?
Oh, yeah. After that, they'll head over.
Not yet. Mary is going to hold out her hand to Honey. Go. She doesn't want to leave her alone.
She does not take it. In fact, you see a very clear flinch as you reach out.
Honey, go. I'm not going to hurt you. I just don't want to leave you right here on your own. If you come with me, we can see if Drogon or Elliot would stay with you for right now. I know myself that they're actually very good company when you're scared.
She stands up.
Oh, she stands up with her.
She's just kind of waiting.
And Mary, I mean, she'll take her hand back, but she'll like start moving to see if Aniko will follow.
She's following you.
Okay, so then she'll head over to Drogon, also looking back just to make sure she's following and still okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep, she follows you all the way to Drogon.
Drogon, hi.
Hey, Mir.
Could you watch over Haniko for the moment before I think... Why are there so many people calling? I swear.
Popular today.
I swear.
That is how it goes for me too. I won't get calls for months, and then I'll get like 3 back to back. I'm like, what is going on? Yeah.
But
yeah, of course, Hanenko's welcome to stay here. Hanenko, have you had breakfast yet? And she gives a small shake of her head. And he's like, all right, well, if you want to head over there, and he points over to where Elliot is, like, kind of maintaining their little... We've got, like, this weird sort of, like, campfire-esque thing going on in this area. Like, cooking for themselves, even though there's plenty of food kind of thing. I mean, Elliot's over there, and he can definitely help you out. And she just kind of, like, goes over... Like, she doesn't say anything to acknowledge, but she does start to walk that way.
okay.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. Just don't read an almond to her.
An almond.
Yeah, the one that you read to me while I was out.
I thought you liked the almond reading I did.
I mean, it was more of you that I got concerned about.
Oh, well, maybe I'll try and find a better book. I was short on options at the time.
Okay. I suggest finding a better book. I'm gonna...
Well, if you find one, bring it back to me. Let me know.
Okay. And then she'll start heading over.
Yeah. You see, like, Elliot is engaging with Hanenko and seems like to be making some inroads, maybe. Like, she's tolerating his presence and willingly walked over. That seems like a step forward. Drogon has not moved to join them at all, but is instead making sure that he is between them and the rest of everyone else in the room so that he can intercept anyone who's heading that way so that they don't get interrupted. So that happens over there. Kellen, what do you and Pyrea do?
So Kellen is going to whisper to Pyrea and say, just come with me. It's better to ask forgiveness than permission. And he's going to try to hold her hand and bring her to this conversation.
Yeah, okay. I mean, technically, Ardris did already have me in his house already, so...
Exactly.
Yeah.
He'll go. He'll go just like taking any excuse to get her to go along the plan. But on his way there, he will take personal offense with a certain group of individuals in this room and stop by them. I would like to say a few words to the people that are like, I'm going to call my parents, forget about this. I don't want to stay here.
Yeah, sure. What was his name? One second, I got to look up a name real quick.
Friend of the dwarf friend of is he a gnome or a dwarf? Friend of
I was thinking about the one that was not Narcus. Narcus is too cool. Oh, it's so slow. 1 second. It's almost there.
No, it's all good.
I'll know the name as second I see it. There we go. Nossel.
Well, this is someone I know, right?
Yeah, Nossel is actually a member of Honinko's party. He is an incredibly nervous-looking gnome who, at one point, was super fawning over.
I mean, Shaylin, who's not here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
So you've met him a couple times, but incredibly nervous little gnome. And he was one of the loudest ones that was like, let's just go. Oh,
Nozzle.
Hey, Kellen. How are you?
You have the luxury to choose whether or not you want to learn from some of the greatest magical minds on this continent. He's saying this loudly enough that all of the other detractors can hear too. Do not waste it being a coward, or I will never forgive you. And then he leaves.
The whole time his eyes just get wider and wider. He's like, well, I mean, it wasn't. It's just like, I wasn't really even supposed to be here, maybe in the first place, and then the school blew up, and then it was. You would never talk to me again. he looks really like flustered and upset. Maybe you've definitely sent a message to him and everyone in the surrounding area.
And then he'll go join the meeting.
Yeah. As all of you walk up, plus Pyria, there's some discussions going on between the Chancellor and Lady Alarin. And as you walk up, what you hear is, so would it be okay if we are in your home? And Lady Alarin has graciously extended an invitation to all of you for whatever it is that the Chancellor is planning, that it should happen at their home.
Were they saying anything special up until that point? Or Otis can read lips?
I don't think that you could see.
Are you sure, Aaron?
Yeah.
Advantage, hybrid form, advantage on perception.
You're trying to spy on a dragon. Like, I think that if she doesn't want you to know something, she's going to put your back to you.
I mean, if she ain't speaking in Draconic, I mean, we got aerial abilities. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you weren't flying. You were on the ground.
Curses. Okay. She's on to us.
Chancellor Azadi did not get to be Chancellor by being silly manic. But I mean, it doesn't appear, I will say, like your very high passive insight and perception. It doesn't appear that this is like a secret per se. It's more that like they were purposely being vague about what it was due to where they are.
Okay.
So the Chancellor turns on you is like, we have a couple of other things to discuss amongst all of you. I'd like to invite you. Was it Yvain?
Yes, that is me. Hello.
If you are at all interested in joining Rivenwood Academy, you have received 2 of the highest recommendations that I've ever received. So you are welcome at our school.
Who recommended me, if I may inquire?
Well, most importantly, Micah did.
Oh.
Isolde also had good things to say.
Of course she did. Yes. I mean, I have nothing better to do, so might as well learn. It seems like it's a good idea.
But we can discuss some more of that later, because I know Micah did mention that you are looking for her.
Yes, the very, very nice professor gave me her letter. It's well, it seems that the others have been misplaced, and I don't know exactly what she's up to.
Well, I do hope that I can assist you in your endeavors in the future. I may have checked up on you due to Micah's insistence, but given your help, I'll do whatever I can.
I'm sure, if you just know what direction she's heading in, and maybe could get a message to her saying that I'm looking for her, perhaps she will stop back by. It's not high on my list of concerns, frankly, but thank you.
I see. If all of you would show up to the Alaran home, say by sunset. If you have other things that you require to do, I'm not trying to... well, it's not a time-sensitive thing, is what I'm trying to say. Sunset will be fine. We'll have dinner.
This is my home, so naturally I will be there.
Very well.
I can do what I want.
We'll be there.
Respectfully.
She nudges.
Otis is learning.
Does he say it
He
just
says
like
it just
that?
like that. He said, I
Amazing.
do what I want. And Lipsy, respectfully.
That is beautiful. You see that, like, the Chancellor was, like, half a second from saying something, and then you're like, respectfully, and she's like, progress. Oh. Kyria. Were you... And, like, the Chancellor just arrived, so she hasn't gotten a full stock of what's going on, but you see her very quickly, like, doing head count. Like, looking to see where is the rest of Kyria's party. Also, is this new? Like, where you all are holding hands. She's just kind of like...
Not exactly. You just have other matters that you worry about more often, usually.
Constantly.
Unfortunately, Pyria's party, he like looks over at her, assuming she doesn't really want to talk about it all that much, and so he just speaks. He's like, unfortunately, they've all, well, just decided, and she kind of, he kind of like looks over at her like, was this their choice, or...
Oh,
I don't know. I mean,
if Otis is in line of sight, he is looking even more nervous than Kellen.
Well, none of them are here right now, I guess, is the main point.
I see. Well, if for now, if you'd like to join us for dinner, I'm sure that's fine. If that's all right with you, Lady Lauren. Yes, of course. We will be good to have a full house. Excellent. I have things to accomplish, but I will see you all then. She stops in front of C. And I will see you, Micah. Then please stay with your party until then.
We will.
Good. And she takes off. She's got places to go and things to see. As we get ready to see what you're going to do kind of in this space. Oh,
just
go
to
ahead.
clarify super quick, the Chancellor has left. Lady Alarin is still present.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
As we get ready to see what you want to do in the space and like kind of what you want to do prior to this meeting, let's go ahead and stop for a quick break here before we go to the second part.
Okay.
All right. So you have basically 6 hours to kill. You're in the Hall of Mages. So if you want to, you could go find what else is here. If you have other places in the city you'd like to go, you can. If you want to book it to House Alarin, you also could do that. There's lots of people to talk to or things that you can do. So you tell me, where do y'all want to head?
Otis is going over to Drogon.
As you approach, like Drogon kind of shifts so that you meet him before you can get any closer to Honinka.
Otis can definitely figure out why with his wisdom.
For sure.
And Otis is like, how's she doing?
Well,
surprisingly subdued voice.
I haven't had a chance to talk to her much myself, but just based on what I've seen, not good.
She looks kind of like me after what happened to me when I got here.
Yeah, kind of like that.
She need a bird?
I don't know that would be particularly helpful at this point, no. But if it does come up, I'll let you know.
If she needs a bird, I'll send a bird.
Well, I mean, I think that's incredibly generous of you. Appreciate your concern. Is this permanent? Like, you've got kind of like, you've changed a little bit. And I'm just not.
Otis will go to his completely humanoid form.
All right, so it's not permanent. Mary said you woke up like this?
Yeah, I had a dream or whatever. Spoke to this big old tree in the grove of my dream. Said her name was Paranon or something.
Paranon. You're telling me you spoke to Paranon?
Oh, you know who she is?
Well, I mean, I reckon I ought to, yeah. I mean,
Nobody
it's
else
one of the
knew who
major.
she was.
It's one of the major. Well, okay. To be fair, the god of nature, you know, a lot of folks don't realize just how powerful that can be, you know?
You're like, well, I got this fancy tattoo on my back, too.
What?
And Otis will just, like, start effectively taking off, like, his clothes. And then pretty much do the Akuna. Like, he ain't got no scruples. He a nature boy.
he sort of tries to stop you, but then, like, once he catches sight of the tattoo, he kind of forgets about all that. He's like, huh. I mean, that's...
Yeah, so Paragon, she said I earned the right to do whatever I want because I've been helping out nature, whatever. And then she said, yeah, you could do this owl thing now. I ain't completely figured it out, but I like it so far. I can fly where I want.
That's pretty amazing.
Well, can Ardra see the tattoo?
I don't think that any of you guys are close enough at present, unless you are walking over.
Oh yeah, hasn't Miri seen Otis shirtless?
All we've seen is like just Otis just sticking off his shirt. We're like,
oh yeah, well,
what?
Yeah, that's right. This would be like the first time y'all are seeing Otis without most of his clothes on. Like you would actually see like a lot of burn marks all over his body. Like all over his body.
And then there's this tattoo that is this kind of goldish color, very, very marked, easy to see on Otis's skin. But from the distance you're at, I think maybe you can't make out exactly what it is. Drogon can, though. And Drogon's like, well, I mean, it's a nice piece of ink for sure. Congratulations, I guess, is what I'm supposed to say here.
I mean, I don't know what to do in situations like these.
All right, well, that'll just be two of us not knowing, so I'm going to go with congratulations and also be careful.
Why?
Well, generally I find when people are marked by gods or whatever, it's kind of a big deal.
Why?
Well, I mean, I guess it's rare, right? So it'd come with, like, I don't know if like, you were given some, I don't know, goal or something. But it seems like a lot of people who would have something like that would have calling.
She said I could do what I want.
Well, I mean, I guess maybe in nature, that's all it takes, right?
Oh, the smile, like, yeah.
Yeah, don't tell a tree how to grow, it just grows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, how is my tree? And where's my book?
Well, the book is, and then like he goes to go for his pack, realizes it's closer to Haningo, is like, the book's over there. Did you need it back or?
No, I just want to know where it is.
Okay, I mean, I'm more than happy to get back to you if that's what you need.
What about the special tree?
Oh no, it's that elf dude at Arch's house said that we could just kind of let it in the sunlight there because I was a little nervous about bringing it here where he's all indoors. Wouldn't get the proper nutrients, you know what I'm saying? But I gave real clear instructions about how it was to be cared for.
You left my plant at his house?
Well, I didn't have a lot of options for places with sunlight.
Outdoors, Drogon.
Yeah,
outdoors.
but if you leave it just outdoors and somebody else will pick it up around here, you've seen, like, all right, we both know. We both know I'm not the most, I can't blend in here is what I'm trying to say. So everything I do's got a lot of, like, visibility.
So, let's see you guarding the tree.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I couldn't stay with the tree, you see. So if I conspicuously went and put a tree somewhere in a pot, like somebody else is going to come around and get it. I figured it'd be safer behind a couple like gates where no one's going to mess with Argis's house.
You act like I can't find it. If I wanted to real bad.
Well, I don't. Could you find it if you wanted to real bad?
Yeah. And Otis is like very matter of fact, like not angry, but very matter of fact. Like,
would you want to have to go hunt it down?
No, that's why I left it with you.
Well, and that's why I left it there, so you wouldn't have to hunt it down. You'd know exactly where it was.
Well, I don't like where it is.
Well, that's fair. You want me to go get it?
I'm going to have to get it. I had to go to that house anyway later.
All right. I'm sorry.
What you apologizing for?
Because I shouldn't have left your tree at that house.
Is that how apologies are supposed to work or whatever?
Yeah, pretty much. You do something that you shouldn't have done, you say, oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done it, and then you don't do it again.
I did apologize for breaking into the Chancellor's room or whatever.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you not do it again?
Well, I have an opportunity to do it and not do it again.
Well, provided you keep not doing it, then it sounds like you've got the hang of the whole apology thing.
But what if I got to do it again?
Then you didn't apologize in the first time. Like saying sorry because you got caught doesn't mean you're sorry. It just means you're afraid of the consequences.
Well, isn't that how apologies are supposed to be?
No.
Who made these rules, Drogan?
Well, I reckon it's...
If you wander into a wolf pack and you get eaten, the wolves don't say sorry. They just eat you.
I reckon it's one of those things people got to do because they don't understand the rules for other people. So everyone agrees on the whole sorry thing because you're going to mess up at some point. When you say sorry, that helps you get on past it.
So you're saying sorry ain't just for the other person, it's for you too?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly, I find that when I've messed up, like when I leave a tree somewhere that I'm not supposed to have done, I feel real bad about it. And I can get a little bit in my head about how it was a stupid thing to do and I shouldn't have done it in the first place. And sometimes I got to say sorry to me too. Say, all right, I know I shouldn't have done it now and I won't do it again. And then I got to forgive myself so I don't keep carrying it around.
But you did what you wanted, right?
Well, I did what I thought was best. It's not always the same as doing what you want.
What you mean? You wanted to put the tree there, you put the tree there.
Well, I wanted the tree to be safe.
I think the tree's safer with you than it is with them. You know, this is like genuinely sincere.
That means a lot, Otis. It means a lot that it's that you consider where I am safe. But trees need sunlight. It'd be like how I prefer to keep you safe, so I prefer to keep you with me, but I know that you sometimes need things. I ain't going to be around where I am. So I got to let you go on your own business.
Otis thinks about it for a second, and then he nods for it is finally starting to make sense to him. And he starts putting his clothes back on.
I do appreciate that you're putting your clothes on. It was getting a little bit of awkward.
Because of the burn marks?
No, it's more just that you weren't wearing clothes in a public place.
I had my pants on, Drogan.
That is true.
I was just like, what's the problem?
That is true. We're going to jump away from that conversation really quick. So the rest of the group, do you have an idea of what direction you'd like to go? Like, do you want to stay in the Hall of Mages? Do you want to stay in this room? Do you want to go out in the city, or do you want to go to Arch's house? Or does anyone want to, like, go take a teleportation circle somewhere else? Like, let me know which way we want to go.
I feel like Yvain's going to go find a bookstore because she wants more poetry books.
Miri would also like to go find books for Haniko.
2 for books.
Audrus will show them around.
Yep. See what follows suit as a learning experience.
Kill it.
I will tell Lady Vinfina what I'm doing, though.
Okay. You're going to send another message?
Yep.
Or are you going to send a runner?
Send a message. I kind of feel bad for that
one person.
Every time you need a runner, that person will be the person who does it.
The real hero.
All right. You send a message to Lady Vinfina. You get one back saying, so will we see each other today? Or is this more of a plan for a picnic tomorrow situation?
Oh, make it clear that she is welcome to join us if she wishes.
Okay.
Yo, girlfriend.
We'll see which way that goes. Kellen, are you and Pyrea joining the book expedition?
Kellen would ask everyone if there are things that we still have to trade while they're doing that. He could go to like offer whatever things we still might have to sell off to a shop or something. Do we have anything for that, Otis? that we still need to sell or?
You have things you could sell if you wanted to. Like, you still have the +1 chainmail. You still got the actual physical gems. If you want to sell them the 7 large gems, different variables. I don't know if y'all want to use that for spells or what have you. It's been valued at 1,100 gold pieces worth of large gems. So I'm assuming, so like 100 gold pieces per gem. And they're the things we actually bought. And we have the amulets, miscellaneous necklaces and doodads Otis is purchasing. You did give that sunlight bow as a gift to Lady Vimfina, didn't you, Ree?
It wasn't a gift.
It's ours.
You got 500 gold then, and you get 500 gold when you next meet up.
Okay, so we have 500 on that, and well, depending on if they meet
it was already. I think it was already in your list of how much money you had, but she offered basically half then, half when you get back.
Okay, so then I factored in the first 500. Okay.
What is the amulet that we have?
Amulet of Grellion.
Vane has that.
Yeah, I have that.
Okay.
I don't know what it. Where's my notes?
So we just need to sell the chainmail and the gems?
I think I have the chainmail too, the chain shirt +1.
Okay, you're wearing that too? Okay.
And the wand binding.
Yeah, other than the stuff that you guys bought or those gems, I don't think you have much to sell.
You can sell the depetrification potions if you want.
You used 2 doses, you have 1 left.
I would
Potion, singular.
keep it just in case.
Only the rope of climbing that no one's using at the moment.
I'm just letting y'all know what we got.
Do we want me to sell the gems, or do we want to keep the powder them for spells?
You have gem dust too. You have 400 gold pieces worth of gem dust.
Well, the gem dust is not just gem dust.
That gem dust is like enchanting material.
Is special gem dust.
So as long as it has a value in enchanting, and spells, it doesn't have monetary value.
It has monetary value. I'm just saying, it's not the same as if you crush gems.
Not for spell components. It's for enchanting stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's purely value is purely in spell components. Okay.
I don't mind either way. He's asking about do people want to sell the gems or not? I suppose we'll decide later. Unfortunately, as much as you all know that I love books, I do have business to attend to elsewhere today. I'll see you all in a few hours for dinner, though.
Get yourself into trouble.
You see Pyrea frowning next to you.
I trust that Pyrea will keep him out of trouble.
We won't get into trouble. I respect the position that your family is in here, Ardris, and I would do nothing to put you in such an uncompromising position. I'll see you all soon.
Farewell.
Otis, as you return back after talking to Drogon, are you going with them to the books?
Otis will actually stay overhead and fly and keep an eye on him.
Okay, you're going to start off in the Hall of Mages.
Oh, we're in the hall. We haven't left the hall.
You haven't left the hall yet.
Okay, well, Otis will probably stick close to Miri and as far away from Pyrea as he can manage.
Okay. So it sounds like the majority of you are going for books, and then Kellen and Pyrea are doing something else. So we'll start with the group book. So as you get ready to leave, Ardris, you are aware that inside of the Hall of Mages is a fantastically large library. A library not only of mundane books, but also of the arcane. It is probably the single largest library on this continent. It's massive. So if you're looking for books, that might be a good place to start, depending on what kind of books you're trying to get.
Well, let's go, I suppose. I'll take it to see the library. And he will lead them to an area that is like medium sized, but has a lot of books in it. Like this is where we keep the books that we don't care about anymore. If there's anything in here, you can look around, I suppose. The actual library is a little further. I suppose you could buy these if you really want to.
As you get to this area, like you pass by kind of a desk where a librarian is sitting. There are several of these desks posted throughout the library because it is so large. And then there's like the people in charge who don't do desk duty kind of thing. So if you want to, there is a person sitting behind the desk. It is a younger looking woman. She's got a green-hued skin, completely bald, and a shell on her back. She's a turtle.
Ooh, turtle height.
Turtle.
I assume Mary doesn't say that out loud, but she's just kind of sitting there. She's got her own book and has not yet realized that you've got
posing to say something rude too. He's not going to say turtle. He's going to say turtle.
Oh.
But you'll be able to know that Otis is going to say it with your perception. You can see his mouth.
Mary can't read your mind. She doesn't know what you're about to say.
You got that high perception.
She can't read your brain though with high perception.
He doesn't know what he's gonna say.
He's starting to.
He looked like he's about to say something.
It's not like he's going in his head. He's going to quickly say turtle. You can see somebody forming words.
Hello. Just like
he just jumps in really quick.
Hi.
You kind of she quickly slams her book shut and looks up like kind of surprised and looks very confused at you and the rest of you. You're not the elves that are normally in here with the long robes and the scholarship and all of that. And she's like, hi. My name is Mitch. Welcome to the library. How can I help you?
Hi, we're looking for books.
You have come to the right place. This place has lots of books. I'd be absolutely happy to help. In fact, it has many books. So if you have a title or an author's name would be incredibly helpful. I can begin the process of looking for a specific book that you might require.
And if I don't have a title or an author?
It does make it much more difficult to find like a specific book that you might be interested in, but I will assist you to the best of my abilities.
Okay, well, I'm going to think about what kind of book I think Honinko would like. And then she looks at Yvain. What kind of books were you thinking about getting?
Really, genre-wise, what would you recommend poetry-wise? Like, what would your top recommendation be?
Well, are you looking for like odes or epics, or are you looking for like? We of course have like turn of the century modern poetry that is quite popular. We have some of the more ancient texts. If you are keen to practice your transliteration and translation for those kinds of things.
Poetry and celestial would be nice.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. We have a wide range of different types of languages that all of this poetry is in.
Whatever you would recommend. I'm looking for new things to read. Yes, hold on. And she just darts off in the middle of these massive stacks. There's just shelf upon shelf upon shelf, and they go like floor to ceiling. And there's those big like rolly ladder thingies all over the place to help people get to the upper levels of books and stuff. And she ducks out of sight for a bit.
Okay.
You are making yourselves at home?
Yeah. I guess as much as you can make yourself at home in the library.
I really like this place. You should have taken us here earlier.
In the distance, you hear a small. Okay.
Is she okay?
I'm fine. It's just sometimes the books are bigger than me. It's okay.
I just, what does she mean?
I mean, the books can be rather large here. Some of them. Some of them are designed to be, some are designed for larger individuals. Giants and the like. It's pretty straightforward.
Well, I don't have. She holds up like her little hands. Like, I don't think we can hold those.
She comes around and she's got like
tables.
6 books in her hand that she's kind of like desperately trying not to drop and just like put some of the thing. It's like, all right, so well, this is one of my favorite poets. It's kind of like more about nature and the eternal world of like solitude is expressed in like surroundings and that kind of thing. Very, very, very interesting. This one's more about like romance and interconnected lives and kind of like how how people relate to each other. And this one's about death, but like in a good way, I guess. You know what I mean? Like there are some that are. It's one of my favorites, but I know it's not for everybody, and so I try and get that one like kind of out of the way. And then like she just keeps going on, and she's giving you like several different like what we might know in our vernaculars, like romantic poets, or transcendental poetry, this kind of thing. Like so, she gives you several different genres.
She will politely take like the first 3. Like that's what she wants.
Nice, wonderful, excellent.
How do I check these out? Do I have to return them? Like when?
Well, because you were there, Lauren. Like I think you just bring it back whenever you're ready.
Oh, perfect.
I mean, it's not like it's one of the like. It's not like one of the books that everyone checks out. You know what I mean? So it's not like there's a waiting list or something. So, yeah.
Otis is eyeing her rudely this whole time. Like, not offensively, but like you could tell he's like examining her versus politely listening to her and giving attention.
She looks up at you and is like, hey, can I help you find a book?
I ain't seen nobody like you before.
That's fair. I've not actually seen anyone like you before either, so I feel like this is a good learning experience and also like kind of a cross-cultural exchange between people who have previously not met.
Yeah, Otis just continues examining like,
my name is Mitch.
Trey ain't told me nothing about you. Otis looks at the hand like, it looks at Mary.
Oh, maybe this isn't common in your culture. Like we call it a handshake. You didn't really grab it and you shake it. Gently, though. It's not meant to be an attack.
Like, Otis goes, oh. And Otis holds his hand out to shake, but you can tell he's not used to it. He's like, I don't know about culture. I've been around folks too much until recently.
I mean, honestly, I try to avoid folks. I prefer the books, but you gotta know how to deal with people sometimes, too.
I prefer animals, especially birds. You know any animals?
I have many books on animals, absolutely. There's one that is on deep ocean creatures that will blow your mind. Like they are way bigger than you might think that they are.
Otis is intrigued. Is it written in something I can understand?
Pictures.
So I know this is the place where everybody be doing that writing that everybody else be doing around here. What's it called?
What languages do you speak? Or I guess read in this case.
This one. And then Otis will switch to Druidic and be like, and this one, but it's not that common.
When you switch to Druidic, she lights up and she starts talking to you in Druidic.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh my gosh. I never get to talk this in ever. This is I'm so incredibly happy to speak with you right now.
Oh, praise the tree, me too. Oh yeah, you guys wouldn't know this, but just for good things for you, Otis is leagues more comfortable in Druidic than he is in Common.
Ooh, this is the
That's his comfortable language. So he will speak a lot more fluently in Druidic.
Yeah. You know, we don't have a bunch of books in Druidic, but we do have a small selection that I could possibly see if I can get you something.
Oh, that would be amazing. Thank you.
All right.
That's what you say, right? Thank you.
It is absolutely what I say when I am happy, so thank you. What did you want? Anything specific? Like I said, not a lot of books, but...
Well, I saw a lot of animals back at school, but I'm sure there's a lot more animals out there I don't even know about yet.
Rare and exotic animals. Understood. And she takes off.
And Otis will switch back to Kai and be like, this place is amazing.
I've never heard that before, Otis.
What? That's the language the tree taught me.
Oh, it's the tree talk. Okay.
Well, not just trees use it, people use it too. Apparently you guys can't do it.
Well, I've traveled a lot in my life with the circus and all. I've really never heard people talk like that. So
Otis frowns, like this seems like genuinely odd to him. Like everybody talks to trees. Like that's the expression on his face.
Everyone talks the tree talk. What do you mean?
She returns with what looks to be a very small book. Like in terms of it is not, it doesn't have very many pages. It's relatively large, but fewer pages. And emblazoned on the front in Druidic, it says, "Curious creatures of the continent and beyond."
There's something beyond the continent? Otis says that as reading the cover.
She flips open to like the back page, and it's weird. The more pages you turn, the more pages there seem to turn. And she keeps flipping, and you're like, surely you'd be back to the end by now. And eventually gets to the very back, and there's a map of the world. And it includes not just your continent, but also other continents.
Otis is like, ooh.
Pretty exciting stuff, right?
Yeah, and Otis will say, "Comment, I want this book."
But she will respond in Druidic. Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, probably should be slightly more strict with who I'm just kidding you. Of course you can take this book, just make sure you bring it back, because if you don't, then like House Larn will owe so much money. It's pretty expensive.
Otis gets an impish smile on his face. Oh, they will, huh?
Yeah. I mean, well, honestly, the archived works written in Druidic are fairly rare, and so we have to take good care to make sure that we preserve them to the best of our abilities.
I'll do it for the book, not for House of Larn.
I do most everything for the books, so right on.
Otis will take the book.
Switches into comment. Eralarn, did you? Was there? Could I help you any?
Not for now. Make sure that my guests are taken care of. Well, I don't know what it is that I need to find.
Oh, okay. Oh, of course. Thank you. And you? And she turns to you, Micah. Or C.
I am fine. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. If you think of anything that you can want or need, please just let me know. Did you come up with a book that you needed, Miss?
It's Miri.
Oh, Miri and Midge. Yeah. We make a good pair.
Yeah. I heard you talking about that one poetry book. I know you said romance, but it's also people are connected to each other.
Yeah. Your friend took that book of poetry, but if you're interested in the subject of relationships and interconnected, like kind of social methods of action and progress, I definitely have a few others that I could recommend as a more like textbooks, or like, or are you more interested in fiction?
Yvain digs through her bag and holds the book out to Mary.
She's like, okay. She holds that one, but I was also wondering if there was anything about same thing of connecting people, but like with strings, like different color strings.
Different colored strings.
Otis is nervous.
We're talking about like weaving skills, like guilds of like seamstresses or tailors, or
Like strings attached to people that we can't see.
strings attached to people that we can't see.
Otis is
Hold
making a
on. I
makeshift
think I've
examination.
thought of something that might fit. I rolled a natural 20, so she
Nice.
gets off and comes back later, and it's a very, very, very small, old, like, it looks like, you know those, like, mini journals you can get that are, like, deck of playing cards kind of size?
Yeah,
it's like one of those. And it you can kind of see, like, it looks to have been, like, a journal. And she's like, well, I didn't really have anything along those lines, except when you were talking about, like, connecting people. And I remembered that there was this one individual called, well, I don't actually know their name, but they signed the journal as the Weaver. And so I thought maybe this would be something appropriate for your interests. And hands it over.
Miri like snatches it, like almost rudely, but she's like, "Oh wait, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Thank you.
No.
This is actually kind of really helpful."
Oh, excellent, wonderful! I'm always happy to hear when I can be helpful, especially in scholastic endeavors. And I don't worry, I understand the impulse when you're just so captivated by a good book that you just can't wait to get your hands on it. I understand.
Okay, I guess I'll have these two, like the romance one and
Excellent.
the other one.
So she takes like notes of basically like kind of the ISBN numbers for which books each of you have gotten, and just like herself signs to House Alarn. So all of you are given the books that you want, and you can just take them.
Otis is, if there's Otis is going straight to the nearest tree with that book.
Okay. As you guys begin to exit the Hall of Mages and head to maybe the bookstore to find whatever you're else wanting, Otis peels off and heads towards this beautiful like courtyard outside of the Hall of Mages that's got lines of planted trees, and I mean it's a very gorgeous outdoor area. And you see there are quite a few people out there, even dressed in their Hall of Mages kind of like robe uniforms, who are sitting with a book and enjoying themselves, like, because it's hitting close to lunch. I'll bounce over to Kellen really quick before we wrap this up. Kellen, you and Pyrie are headed where?
He like walks her to the outside of the Hall of Mages, waits for everyone else to kind of like have departed, and then he stops. He's like, well, my friends have had my time and attention for weeks now. These 6 hours are yours. We could explore the city, learn about elvish architecture, maybe find a little bit of trouble despite the warning not to. We could catch up on all of the conversations that have been missed that we need to catch up on. Or perhaps we could plot how to kidnap your friend Ayana and bring her back to school.
Yeah. I miss her a lot. But I think the conversations can wait, and we can let's explore. Let's see what's out there. Between the Hall of Mages and Argis's house, I haven't really seen much of anything here.
I'm certain that there is a lot to see. Let's go.
And you head off into the city to explore whatever you might see. And I think we will pick up your guys' city exploration prior to whatever this meeting is next time.
All right, perfect. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode as we make our way back to the Hall of Mages. Again, if you like what you see here, definitely make sure to join our Discord. We may be transitioning soon to our season finale, so keep a lookout for that. We may have something new coming on the near horizon as well. We'll see. In the meantime, make sure you join us, of course, for our next episode of Rivenwood Academy. But until then, farewell for now.